everybody, welcome back to the channel, or if you're just now finding me, welcome. Today we're going to do a simple and really fun and quick DIY for your Happy Planner Staples Arc Bound or any other disc bound system that you may use. Disc bound meaning that it does use the disc on the side to bind it all together and keep it together. Now, Happy Planner covers that you can buy on the market can be a little bit expensive. They can run from $5 for the simple DIY covers, which is just the plastic that you put your paper into, all the way up to $30 for the more decorative covers. With this kind of cover, you can actually make this for less than a cup of coffee at your local diner. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about my planner when I got it. So when I got my planner, I didn't like the cover. The inside, however, I really did like. I like this watercolor look to it, and I really like each of the dividers and some of the inspirational quotes that I love on it. Like this one says, "Live inspired," and this one says, "Follow your heart." I really do like those. The thing that I really disliked about my planner, as I mentioned, is I hated the cover that came on mine. This is the cover. Now, I did try to use it. I really did. You can see it's a little beat up from me carrying it around and things like that. I actually ended up liking the inside better than I like the outside of this planner cover, but it is what it is. So I started doing a little bit of messing around with this and experimentation to see what I could do to make a cover that I would actually like, that would represent me, my individuality, or I like to change my covers throughout the season as well. So I don't want to stick with just this one cover the entire year. That is not really me. That's not really the kind of thing that I like. And I know a lot of people are like that as well. We all have our own individual styles. Okay, so you might have seen this cover in my last video. If you haven't seen that video, it was a plan with me. I'll go ahead and link that down below for you and at the end of this one so you can watch it as well. Now, this one was single-sided paper, so on the inside it is going to be white. If you don't like the white, then there are other options. I actually am going to show you how to do that in this video as well. So you can end up with something that's a little bit more like this one that I did make for fall. You can see here on the inside, I have laid a different piece of paper so that it's not white. Another one that I made shortly before this video is actually this one. And I just made this one so that I could show you guys that you do not have to round your corners if you don't want them round. You can leave them square. And this is another single-sided that I doubled up just with these yellow stripes on the inside to kind of play off of the sunflowers on the front. Let's talk about what you'll need to do this today. The first thing that I'm going to recommend is going to be a paper trimmer. This is just a very simple paper trimmer from Fiskars. It is meant for scrapbook paper, so it can cut up to a 12-inch piece of paper, or you can just use your scissors and your ruler if you don't have a paper trimmer. The next thing I recommend, if you want rounded corners, is going to be a corner rounder. This is one by We Are Memory Keepers, and this one right here is just a simple one by Fiskars. The Fiskars only does a 1/2 inch round, but this We Are Memory Keepers can do a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch, so I do really like it for that. The next thing that I use personally is this Tombow Mono Permanent Adhesive Tape Runner. Now, this is not something that you have to have. You don't have to use this one specifically either. You can use a glue runner, glue dots, or just a simple glue stick. The whole idea here is just going to be to hold everything together, whether it's your paper or your embellishments, until you can run it through that laminator and make sure that it's going to stick together. And then of course you're going to want to have your Happy Planner punch that correlates to whatever size planner you are using. This is the classic size. I believe I got it at Michael's and I did use a 40% off coupon. I want to say it ran me around $20. You can get these in different sizes if your planner is a different size. You're also going to need your laminating sheets. These are hot laminating sheets that I got off of Amazon. These are the Amazon Basics brand and they are 5 mil thick. You know, they're just your basic laminating sheets. You just kind of open it up and stick things inside like this, and you would just run that through your laminator to secure it. Now, if you can't find the 5 mil laminating sheets, you can do this with 3 mil as well. I know a lot of office supply stores will sell the 3 mil. Just keep in mind that if you use the 3 mil, it's not going to be as durable of a cover. Okay, and then you're going to need your paper or your cardstock, whatever you want to use. So I've got a couple of different options here. This one right here is out of a Michael's paper pack. When they were on sale, like buy 2 get 1 free or whatever. And this one is double-sided. This is going to make your process a little bit simpler if you do choose to use double-sided paper. You can use single-sided paper, like I mentioned in the beginning. If you don't double it up, you're gonna have that white on the back. So what I do is I actually pick a different paper that correlates that I like, and I'm gonna put these together later on in the video to show you how to make a double-sided planner cover that you can reverse and do whatever you want to with it there. Okay, and you're also going to need your laminator. My laminator is also from Amazon. It is an Amazon Basics laminator. It can do 5 mil, it can do 3 mil. It does take a little bit to heat up, but I just make sure that I turn it on ahead of time so that it's nice and ready to go when I need it. Now, if you don't want to buy a laminator, and you're not going to use it for other things, you do have a different option. What you can do is you can actually get the cold process laminating sheets, and they're basically just big clear stickers that you'll put your cover in between and push it down to seal it. I do recommend that if you're not going to buy a laminator, if you have no intention of using it for other projects. All right, so let's go ahead and get our double-sided paper out here, and I'll walk you through the process of making a cover for your planner. I am going to be making a classic size cover today. Like I did mention, I use the classic size Happy Planner as well as the classic size Happy Planner Notes. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to trim down our paper to the size of our cover. Now, a Happy Planner cover itself for the classic size is 7 3/4 by 9 3/4, but we're going to want to cut this down a little bit smaller. So we're going to cut it down to 7.5 by 9.5. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through this right quick and get this all cut for you. Okay, so now that we have our covers cut down, you have a couple of different options here. Now this one is pretty plain on the front, so you do of course have the option at this point to let your creative flag fly and add any sort of embellishments that you would like to the front before laminating, such as something like die cuts, or you could do pictures, anything that you want to. For example, I think right here, I do have a couple of these die cuts from my shop. So if you liked this one, you could put this right here to kind of decorate the front of it just a little bit. Now this one is fall themed and this paper is definitely not, so that's not going to work. But you get the idea. You could put your little puppo on here. You could do exactly anything that you want to do to give it your style and to make it something that you're going to love. Today I'm going to use this simple little journaling card that just says, do what makes you feel fancy, just to give it a little bit of pop to the inside. I'm just going to use my Tombow Mono Runner, and I'm going to put a little bit on each side here. You don't need a lot, that's plenty. And we're just going to go ahead and get this stuck here on the front before we go through the laminating process. All right, so now that we have that on the front, we're going to go ahead and grab our laminating sheets here. And I think I am actually going to go ahead and round the corners on this one. I do prefer the rounded corner look, so let me go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, so now we have our two covers all ready to go into our laminator here. So we're going to go ahead and open up our laminating sheet and slide in our top front cover here. Now when you put this in, you do want to make sure that it goes all the way to the top. You don't want to put it in crooked or leave any space, and you want to make sure that you smooth it down. If you don't, it's a guaranteed way to get some air bubbles in your lamination, and you do not want that. So let's go ahead and put this other one in here. It'll open. All right, perfect. So I am gonna go ahead and run these through the laminator, and I'll be back in just a second. Now that we have our covers laminated, the next step is going to be to cut around each side of the cover, leaving about 1/8 inch of lamination around each edge. All right, so now that we have our covers all laminated and cut out, the next step is going to be to either use scissors or a corner rounder to round these corners. These are seriously, seriously sharp. You want to make sure that you do this step. Do not skip this step. You will hurt yourself in the long run. All right, guys, and we've made it to the last step here, which is just going to be to grab our punch here. And we are just going to go ahead and punch our covers. Now, on the Happy Planner Classic Punch, you can see these two little white marks. These actually correlate to the edge of your inside pages. So just make sure that your cover is evenly dispersed outside of those two. You want to make sure you punch them the same way, or your cover is going to be a little funky and off kilter, and you definitely don't want that. Let me go ahead and punch this one here for you. Oh, I hit the tripod. Sorry about that, you guys. All right, so you can see how that one is all lined up. Let me move this out of the way and grab the back cover here. Now, when you're cutting your back, or punching your back cover rather, you need to make sure you're punching it the right way so that your cover is not upside down, especially if you're doing some kind of embellishments on either your front or your back cover. You just want to make sure that you have those punched so that when you put them on, they are going to sit in the way that you want them. All right. So that is pretty much it, you guys. That is how you make a cover for your Happy Planner or any disc-bound system. Let me pull in my planner here, and I will go ahead and take off my moon covers that I have here, and we'll put these on for you just so you can see what these would look like on your planner as well. And there you have it, guys. In just a few minutes, you've made a brand new cover in your style for your Happy Planner or other disc-bound system. Now, if you are interested, I can show you how to make a cover if you don't have the double-sided paper. If you're using single-sided sheets, I can go ahead and walk you through how I would do this as well. It's going to be fairly the same process. We're going to go ahead and start with cutting down our sheets to 7.5 by 9.5. All right, so now we have everything cut down here, and it's actually going to be pretty simple from here. The only thing you're going to do is you're going to take whatever piece you want to make your front and whatever piece you want to make your back and put them together just like that. So you want to put wrong sides together just like that. And of course you decide whichever one you want to be your front, whichever one you want to be your back. And then you're just going to use whatever adhesive you're using. Again, I'm going to use this Mono Runner, and you're just going to run a little bit of it. You don't have to do a lot. You don't have to overglue. I'm just going to do the top and the bottom here very simply. And we're just going to attach them together just like that. Okay? And now you see those two pieces are attached together. All right, so now we have our front and inside covers attached together. We're going to go ahead and grab our two laminating sheets for these. I am going to keep these covers pretty simple just for the sake of time on the video. But I am going to go ahead and round the corners because I do prefer the rounded corner look, and it also just lets your covers last a little bit longer. Okay, and now at this point, when you have your corners rounded, if you want to, your decoration or embellishments done, we're going to do just like we did with the double-sided paper and run this through our laminator. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and move that out of our way, and we are going to bring the paper trimmer right back in again, and we are going to cut around the edges just like we did the first time, leaving 1/8 of an inch of that lamination on each of the edges. Okay, and I am actually going to go ahead and round these corners as well, simply because, like I said, these corners are extremely sharp. You want to make sure you round them, or at least cut them a little bit with a pair of scissors so that you don't cut your hand. Okay, and we are just going to pull our punch out here and punch them just like we did the first time. And I'll go ahead and pull the planner out for you guys again so that you can see how this one looks as well. All right, guys, and there you have it, the double-sided, made out of single-sided for your Happy Planner cover. That is going to be it for today's video and craft with me. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos every time I post them. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And of course, thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you again next week with another craft with me.